They try to manage them.
I can't. What'd you say?
They try to manage them.
Don't, here, remember we talked about that? Don't think about that.
In September 2010, Full Sail University student Conrad Troha was a mere 2 blocks from the school when he was approached by 18-year-old Edtavion Wilcox, while 19-year-old Deontye Lewarn Scott waited in a car nearby. The young man attempted to take Troha's backpack, and when he resisted, Wilcox pulled a handgun and shot Troha in the abdomen. In spite of his wound, Troha managed to make a run for safety and ended up in the parking lot of a Lexus dealership, where he called out to help from witnesses before collapsing. Scott and Wilcox managed to drive away, but were quickly apprehended and taken into custody.
Sorry about that. How do you say your first name? Edtavion?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you go by?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know if you went by any nicknames or anything like that. Okay. Just trying to clarify. 5/22 and 92 is your date of birth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're from, where are you from?
Belgrade.
Where? Belgrade?
Belgrade.
Belgrade. Do you stay down there now?
No,
Or do you stay up here?
I stay up here.
What's your address up here?
I don't even know. I just moved.
When'd you move up here?
Like, not even a week.
What's it near? You know the name of the complex?
It's near a gas station. Gas station is, I think it's a Hess or a BP.
Near what?
It's near the school Valencia.
Near which Valencia? There's 2 Valencias. Near the Valencia where you guys were today? Right over there on that side of town?
I don't know where we were near Valencia. I know, like...
What's the name of the complex?
Woodland.
Woodland?
Yeah, Woodland.
You know your apartment number? Who you stay with?
I stay with the dude who's driving his car.
You stay with him?
I stay with his brother.
Oh, okay. What's his brother's name?
Raymond.
You have the same last name?
Scott.
It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
You live with him?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know these guys?
They I knew them from ever since I was little.
Oh, okay. Did you go to school with them or grow up with them?
Yeah.
You all live down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You got a cell phone?
Yeah, the officer got it.
What's your number?
1.
How old are you?
18.
You're 18? You turned 18 in May?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What I want to do is I want to talk about what all you're doing sitting here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we didn't pick your name out of a hat. Say we're picking on you two today, and we're going to drag you up to the sheriff's office and talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a reason you're sitting here. All right. In order for me to even talk about that, I had to read you your rights. Okay. But the reason we're here is to get your side of the story of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have brothers and sisters?
Yes.
When you were little, say you pushed your sister or brother or whatever, when they went and told your mom or your dad on you, did they always tell it the way that it actually happened, or did they make it sound worse?
Worse?
Right, because they're trying to get you in trouble,
Yeah.
right? That's why we're here. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? There's a victim out there alleging something happened. Okay? So we have the victim side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I want to get your side of the story.
The detective starts off with a soft approach, trying to get Wilcox to believe that they are interested in hearing his version of the story and that they are on his side. Wilcox is 18, so he might be tempted to speak without representation if he thinks they are looking out for his best interest.
And make sure, and we're going to get into what, the who, what, and where, and all that stuff, okay? But in order for me to even talk to you, like I said, I got to read you your rights. You've been arrested before, right? For what?
Burglary.
Burglary? Did they take you to an interview room and interview you? Or did you just go to jail?
I just went to jail.
So you never gotten your rights read to you?
No.
But you've seen it on TV and in movies and stuff like that, right? Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, one will be provided for you before questioning without charge. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me? No. And you want to talk about what happened today?
Yes.
Yes?
I want to know them, like, you read me my rights.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's like, when people get read their rights, they go to jail.
Not always.
I'm saying, like,
The reason
I don't understand.
The reason I'm reading you your rights is it's called the custodial interrogation. You're in handcuffs, right? You're in custody. That means you can't get up and walk out the door right now. If I was walking down the street and you were walking down the street, and I said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" and you said, "Sure," I wouldn't have to read you your rights because you could just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why we read you your rights. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we have to do that. So you want to talk about what happened?
Yeah.
All right. How do you know? You said you know Deontye because you guys grew up together. Okay. How did you hook up with him today?
I woke up this morning. He was like, when I woke up this morning, he was like, "You want to ride with me somewhere?" I was like, "Yeah, it's cool, cause I don't know my way around here."
Right. And how long has he been here? Obviously longer than you.
Yeah.
But how much? Like a year, 2 years, 3 years?
I can't even tell you the truth.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
When I woke up this morning, he was like, "You want to ride with me somewhere?" I was like, "Where we going?" He was like, "We're going to the west side." I was like, "All right, what we going over there for?" He was like, he wanted to get some tattoos and stuff. I was like, "Is it far?" He was like, "Kind of, but not where we going." I was like, "All right, we can go over there and do something." So got in the car. We went to the west side.
Okay.
Went to the tattoo shop.
Okay.
Got a tattoo.
Did you get one?
Nah.
No? Did he got one?
He got two.
Okay. What happened after that?
After we left the tattoo shop, he, like, everybody, he gave handshake to everybody. Cause I told him anyway before he got his tattoo, I was like, "Man, I'm ready to go back home, man. Cause, like, I don't know these people and I feel like uncomfortable."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Man, just go down there to get my tattoo." So I went out to get his tattoo. And when we left, I was like, "Bro, just take me home."
Okay. So what happened?
That's where we was going.
All right.
We was going to the complex that his brother stayed in. And then he was telling me, he was like, "Bro, it's a police behind me." I was like, "Bro, we ain't doing nothing, bro. We straight." Then he was like, "Bro, it's two behind me." So I looked in the mirror, it was two. Then it was three. So I was like, "Oh, man, it's crazy." So I put my seatbelt on. Then when I seen them turn on their lights, I was like, "Man, they ain't worried about us." So I was like, "Bro, just turn here and see, like, do they follow us or something?" Turned in, they follow us. So I was like, "Bro, Paul, right here, let me see something." And when we paused, police just jumped out. They was like, "If we move, we gonna shoot." I was looking up. I had my hands up, but I was looking up like it was crazy. Like,
right.
What y'all stopping us for?
All right. Here's the deal. Because I can only listen to so much. You know something else happened. All right. I wouldn't be here. I don't sit here and talk to you without knowing what the deal is. All right. It's obviously been a while since they stopped you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
That whole time, my job is to investigate. That's what we've been doing. We've been talking to people. We've been interviewing people. We've been showing people pictures. We've been looking at video, things like that, okay? Obviously, something happened. I didn't bring you up here because you weren't wearing your seatbelt, okay? You got arrested for a burglary before, and they didn't even bring you up here. Obviously, it's something a little more serious.
But I haven't.
So here's the deal. I'm talking to you now, getting your side of the story. Mm-hmm. I already talked to Deontye.
Wilcox tries to spin the story to make himself look completely innocent, but the detective isn't going to let that slide. Instead of letting Wilcox continue to lie, he tries to shut that down and redirect Wilcox to give a true account of his actions.
I already interviewed him. Mm-hmm. He told me everything, okay? And I'm not saying that just to screw with you. He told me everything. Mm-hmm. You understand? So how does it look when he's telling me one thing and you're telling me something completely different?
That's what happened.
No, it's not. Well, all right, here, I'll give you this. This, I'll concede this point. What you told me is the truth. You're just leaving a 20-minute gap out of it. okay? And that 20-minute gap is the reason that we're all sitting here right now. That 20-minute gap is the reason the deputies pulled you guys over, okay? So here's the deal. You know what credibility is?
No.
Credibility is when, if you're believable or not, okay? You start with so much believability, all right? Mm-hmm. Every time you either tell me a lie or leave something out, because leaving something out is essentially a lie. Your credibility, your believability comes down and down and down and down. And it can only get so low, all right? And it's hard to build back up, okay? So here's the deal. I don't sit here, like I said, unless I know what's going on, unless I know the score. I don't ask questions that I don't already know the answer to, all right? I may not know the entire answer, but I know 90% of the answer, okay? This is going to go one of two ways. You're either going to be a guy who made a mistake, hanging around the wrong place, the wrong time, did something dumb, or you're going to be a guy that goes out and likes to shoot people for fun, okay? Listen, and before you say anything, I think you're a guy that made a mistake. You were out there looking for someone to roll, for someone to hit a lick, okay? I know that because I have people positively IDing you, putting you there, all right? That's not open for debate. Hold on. That's not open for debate. I know you were there, okay? I know what happened. I've talked to the victim. The victims picked you out of a photo lineup and said, that's the guy that shot me, okay? Here's the deal. I don't think you shot that guy because you're a bad person. I don't think you shot that guy. You didn't mean to kill that guy, okay? What happened was you were just trying to snatch his backpack. He started fighting with you, and you got scared. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So y'all saying I shot someone?
I know you shot somebody. Here's the deal, though. Like I said, this is going to go one of two ways. You're going to be a guy that gets off on shooting people and is just a stone cold killer, or you're a guy that was just trying to get some quick money and got in over his head. Okay? You're not a stone cold criminal. I know that because I've looked at your record. All right? I think what happened is you got in over your head. That guy started fighting with you, and you panicked. So you tell me, were you trying to kill that guy? Or were you trying to kill that guy, or were you just scared?
I didn't shoot nobody, man.
Here's the deal. You did shoot that guy. I have 3 witnesses
saying
plus the victim. Yeah. Your boy Deontye said you got back in the car and said that guy hit me in the face, so I shot him.
Do you see any marks on my face, sir?
I don't need to see marks on your face.
That's crazy, man.
You know what? It's right. You're right. It's crazy. But here's the thing. You're 18, right? You're 18. Yes?
Yeah.
This is where you need to stand up and be a man and admit you made a mistake. I know you weren't trying to kill that guy. I know that because you're not the kind of guy that does that. You panicked. You got scared. You got in over your head.
Again, the detective uses a tactic to get Wilcox to speak more freely by implying that he knows Wilcox is a good person. Some people unconsciously try to reinforce that belief by cooperating, but that reaction isn't guaranteed. An individual's personality and previous experience play a lot into how they will respond to this type of emotional manipulation.
Tell me I'm lying.
Sir, I'm telling you, sir. If I would have shot the man, I man up just like I man up. I man up, okay? Like I told the police last time.
You didn't man up because you skipped 20 whole minutes of what you guys were doing.
I'm saying if I shot him, I'd have been like, yeah, okay, I made a mistake.
Then do it.
I didn't do it. That's why
Who shot him then?
I don't know what you mean. I ain't seen nobody get shot. Me?
You
shoot somebody, man? Come on,
you were 2 feet away from him when you shot him.
That don't even sound like me, man.
I'm telling you, it doesn't sound like you.
I'm talking about like shoot someone.
So were you scared because he hit you? Were you scared of getting caught? Why? I know you weren't trying to kill the guy. I know that. This would be a whole different conversation if that guy died. He didn't die. He's barely even hurt.
I'm saying that's crazy. I never in my life shot someone, sir.
Okay, what's the gun in the car for then?
What gun in the car?
What do you mean what gun in the car? Don't even start. Don't go there. Because there was a gun between your feet on the floorboards of the car.
Oh, man. So that gun was in the car before we even left the house this morning then?
I don't care how it got in there. I'm saying...
I'm telling you, I didn't know a gun was in the car. The gun had to be in the car before.
It doesn't matter how the gun got in the car. I'm telling you that. That doesn't matter. What matters is I have 3 people describing you. I have 3 people identifying you. I have the victim describing you. I have the victim identifying you. I have all 4 people describing that car that you guys were in, and I have that car with a gun in it. You explain that to me.
I don't know how the gun.
You explain that. I don't care about the gun. You explain that to me. I don't care about the gun. How all these people are pointing the finger at you.
So I'm not even from here. So how
it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter where you're from.
How the people?
You could be from Mars because your picture was put into a photo lineup. You know what a photo lineup is? Yeah. Your picture was put into one. The victim looked at it and said, 150%, that's the guy that shot me. It doesn't matter where you're from. You could be from Mars. Here's the thing I need you to get over, okay? It's not about the gun. I know you weren't trying to kill that guy. I know you made a mistake. I know you got in over your head, okay? You're not a killer. $10-3.
Came up here to get away from my problems, man. I come up here for all this, man. That's why this the same reason why I left Belgrade. I didn't come
when you were in Belgrade, were you hanging around with the wrong people?
Yes.
Up here, you were hanging around the wrong people, right?
That's why I left Belgrade.
I know, but you moved up here and got into the same crap.
No, I came up here to try to better myself.
But you see what I'm saying? These guys you're hanging around with, they're from down there, right? It's like Belgrade North. What'd you come up here to do?
Go enroll in school.
Did you enroll yet?
No, I went on my transcript papers from Belgrade.
Where were you going to go?
To the school near the apartment complex.
To Valencia?
No, not Valencia. The other school is the high school.
Oh, okay. Here's what I want you to think about, okay? Like I told you before, you're no killer, all right? Because a killer wouldn't move from Belgrade up here to get away from the crap, right? Listen, but a killer's not going to move out. A killer's going to stay, and they're going to keep doing the same crap they've done all their life. They're going to be out on the corner, and they're going to be slinging dope, and they're going to be going out rolling people and hitting licks, and they're going to be doing whatever it is they do, living, day to day, right? Good people don't move from there and try to get out of the situation they're in, right? Good people make mistakes. I ain't here to judge you. Nobody else is here to judge you, okay? There's only one, you know who can judge you, right? That's a man upstairs, right? But what goes a long way is accountability for your actions. I know you're not a bad guy. I know that. You wouldn't have moved up here and tried to get out of that trouble if you were a bad guy. I told you even before I knew that you weren't a bad guy. You just got into some crap that you couldn't handle.
So I'm going to be honest with you. Be real honest with you.
Wilcox attempts to make himself a sympathetic figure by claiming that he has moved to the area to better himself. But choosing to rob someone doesn't fit with the narrative he is trying to build. He goes on to use the phrase, "I'm going to be honest with you," which generally means that what he is going to say is a lie.
I didn't come up I did not come up here to do any violence, man. I came up here to go to school. Like my mom wanted me to even move from Belgrade, just to get out of trouble, man. Because every night down there, it's like crazy. You asking for death in Belgrade.
Right.
So my mom wanted me to move from down there to come up here. I didn't come up here to do no violence, get in no trouble or nothing, man. I didn't come up here to do none of that. I came up here to get away from all my problems. So why would I come up here and start problems?
So you tell me what happened today.
I told you what happened.
What? I need the whole story. How'd you end up in that parking lot?
In what parking lot?
You know the parking lot I'm talking about. I'm not playing games with you anymore. I've been straight up with you, haven't I?
You've been straight up with me.
You know what parking lot I'm talking about because you guys were there.
We've been in a couple parking lots today.
The Lexus parking lot, the one where you tried to lick that kid. How'd you end up there? How'd the decision come around that you guys were going to that parking lot?
The Lexus parking lot.
The Lexus dealership. Here's the way it was going. Either you guys were out there looking for someone to roll, or it was a spur of the moment thing. Had you guys been planning this all day long to go out there and find somebody to rob?
No, I told you I didn't come up here for that.
Right. So it was a spur of the moment thing. How'd the decision get made for you to get out of that car and go confront that kid? Like I told you, this is your chance to tell your side of the story, okay? Everybody else is making you look a lot worse than you really are, okay? Because remember we talked about this? Remember we talked that guy's making you look like a serial killer right now, okay? I know that's not true.
What guy making me look like a serial killer?
The victim, the guy that got shot. Have you ever been shot? That's why I need your side of this story. Because look at when all this down the road, when other people start looking at this, whoever they may be, okay? When I write my report, because I'm going to write a report about this, all right? Everybody involved is going to write a report about this. They're going to read the victim side of the story, right? The victim's making you out to be a stone cold, just straight up thug killer, guy that doesn't give a crap about anybody else, all right?
I could have stayed big for this shit, man.
If you keep going down the path you're going down, telling me you didn't have anything to do with it, you're not. It's not you. Who are people going to believe? Are they going to believe you, or are they going to believe the victim? They're going to have to believe the victim because you didn't give me your side of the story. Remember when I told you that leaving things out is essentially the same thing as lying? How's that going to make you look? They're going to believe the victim. They're going to be like, man, that guy had his opportunity. He had his opportunity to tell his side of the story, but he wouldn't even do it. He wouldn't even accept responsibility. He didn't show any remorse. He didn't say he was sorry. You see what I'm saying?
I just got out of jail. Man.
I understand that.
I'm not trying to go back to that shit, man.
Here's the thing. This isn't about the past. This is about your future right now. This is about how this looks from this point on for the rest of your life. How are people going to look at you? Are they going to remember you as a cold-blooded killer? Or are they going to think, oh man, that kid, he just got on some tough times. He made a mistake. I'm pretty sure I know what the truth is. I think you made a mistake. Because you're not the guy that goes out there shooting people. I don't think you weren't trying to kill that guy. Were you trying to scare him? What happened in that parking lot?
Wilcox is frustrated that the detective isn't believing him as easily as he had hoped. He's being pushed into a corner, and he is unsure what to say.
Were you trying to kill him? What happened when you grabbed the backpack? Did he turn around and fight you? Look at me. Look at me. A guy that sits there like you is not a guy that goes around and kills people. You understand what I'm saying? You have remorse. You're sorry. I can see it on you. You just need to take that next step. Were you trying to kill that guy? What happened in that parking lot? Did you guys plan it? Or did it just happen?
Trying to go back.
Huh?
They try to go back to jail.
I can't. What'd you say?
They trying to go back to jail.
Don't, here, remember we talked about that? Don't think about that. That's the least of your concerns right now, okay? I know you think right now that's all you can think about, okay? You need to think about how people are going to view you down the road. That's what you need to think about.
I don't care what people think, man.
But you do. Do you want people thinking that you're a killer?
I don't care what people think. I know what I'm in. I know what I'm not. I don't care what nobody think about me, man.
Then do it for you. You know you're not a killer, right? Let everybody else see that.
I'm not a killer, man.
So what happened? Because he's describing you like a killer. So what happened?
Under the emotional push by the detective, Wilcox breaks down. While he has been in trouble with the law before, this is a far more serious crime, and it is hitting him just how much he potentially has to lose.
Was your plan to go out there and rob somebody? No? So how'd it go down then? Did you just see this kid walking? How'd it go down? What happened in that parking lot? Edtavion, what happened in that parking lot?
So I don't want to go back to jail for no dumb shit, man.
I can't help you with that. There's nothing I can do about that, okay? What's happened has already happened, all right? The only thing you can do right now, you can't change what's happened, right? If you could, I know you would go back and change it. Am I wrong? You can't change what's happened in the past. All you can do from this point on is take responsibility for it, show remorse for it, be sorry for it. I know you're all three of those, okay? Because I can see it. But until you say it, no one else is gonna believe it. All anybody's gonna think is like the victim saying that you're a killer. I know you're remorseful because I can see it right now. I know you're sorry because I can see it right now. You just need to take that next step. All you can change is what happens from here on. You can't change what happened 10 minutes ago, 10 hours ago. You were trying to change the future when you moved up here. You have another opportunity right now. What happened in that parking lot?
I'm scared.
Did you guys pick that guy to rob, or did you just see him walking around?
Just see him.
So you guys were driving down the street and you just saw him walking? When you got out of the car, did you know, were you going to take his bag, or what were you going to do?
I was planning on taking the bag.
That's all you wanted to do? Did you walk up behind him or in front of him?
Like the side of him.
The side of him? Did he see you coming?
Yeah.
He saw you coming? What happened when you grabbed his backpack?
I was like, man, just give me the bag. Just give me the bag.
What'd he say?
He was like, wait a minute, no, wait a minute. No.
He tried to talk you out of it?
At the same, he did, but at the same time, he didn't. Because first he was like, no, wait, no. And he just beat me up.
How many times did he hit you?
I wasn't even counting.
More than once? Was he saying anything? No? What point did you pull the gun out?
He started hitting him.
Did you say anything?
Reluctantly, Wilcox starts to give details about the shooting. It is unlikely that he will be able to say anything to help his case, but he will avoid the emotional stress of a longer interview.
Did you say, stop hitting me or I'm going to shoot you? Anything like that?
I was like, I had my hand like right here.
Your left hand?
No.
No, you had your left hand like up against him?
Yeah.
Trying to push him away?
I was trying to make him stop hitting me.
Where was the gun?
In my pocket.
Which pocket?
This one.
The right front pocket? So you took the gun out with your right hand? When you took the gun out, did you say anything? What kind of gun is it? Where'd you get it? Belglade, you brought it up here with you? How many times did you shoot? One. What happened after you pulled the trigger? Did he fall down, or
No.
was he still standing up? Where'd you hit him?
I didn't even know I hit him.
Okay. So you fired that one round. What happened?
I just froze up.
You just froze up? 10-3. So your goal when you went in there was to get his backpack. Where was Deontye? Where?
In the car, like,
He wasn't there though.
Yeah, he was there, but he wasn't.
But I mean, he was like around the corner, right? He dropped you off and you got out. When you got out of the car, did you already see the guy, the victim?
He was coming up like a hill.
So you could see him when you got out of the car.
At first, I didn't.
So what made you get out of the car?
I just was finna stand right there on the stop.
And wait for him to get to you, or wait for somebody to get to
I
you?
was waiting on him to get to me.
Okay. So then you walked into that parking lot, the Lexus parking lot,
Deontye drove in the parking lot.
and that's when you got out, and then he left, right?
He drove around like in the lane.
Right. So you go up and you try to grab the guy's backpack. Did you pull on it, or did you just say, "Give me your backpack"?
I was talking to him first. I was like, just give me the back. And when I seen him like walking off real fast, I pulled on the backpack. Like, man, just please give me the backpack.
Why'd you want it? Money? Computer? I mean, what'd you think was in there?
It's like peer pressure.
From who?
Deontye.
What'd he tell you?
At first, I was like, man, he was like, man, you get some money out that, man. Just catch one on coming.
So did you guys talk about it before you got out of the car?
Before I got out the car.
Yeah. What were you talking about?
Money.
Who found this guy?
Who found what?
The victim.
Deontye.
When you guys were driving around, he saw him and said what?
Like there goes somebody with a book bag right there.
How'd you know there was something in the book bag besides books?
Didn't.
You were just taking a gamble? So you go up, you grab his book bag. As soon as you grab it, is that when he starts fighting with you?
He was talking at first.
Even after you grabbed it?
Yeah.
What was he saying? Don't take it? At what point did you ever have the book bag in your hand completely? Or was it on him?
It was on.
So you were just kind of pulling him and the bag? And then what's he do when is he turn around and hit you, or what's the story? What's he do?
I was like, man, just give me the book bag, man. Please give me the book bag. He was like, no, just wait a minute. And I just stopped, man. I just stopped. When I stopped, he turned around and he wasn't beating on me. He was like, wait a minute. I stopped. Trying to see like what he want me to wait for. When I stopped, he turned around and went to punch me.
Where'd he punch you?
My stomach. He punched me in my stomach like, I don't know how many times. I don't know if it was a punch or a kick or a knee. I just know.
At what point did you decide to pull a gun out?
When he was beating on me and I was like this.
You couldn't keep him off you?
Nah. Yeah, I couldn't do nothing.
Were you trying to get away?
Yes.
Was he holding on to you, or was he just hitting you too much?
He just was hitting me like, when he was hitting me, it didn't bother me at first, but it just was one time I hit him in my stomach.
What was the point of pulling out the gun?
Get him up off me.
Okay, so you took it out, and at some point you decided to shoot it. That was to get him off you? You shot it how many times?
One.
Just once? And you said you froze after you shot him. At what point did you decide to run away, that you needed to get out of there?
I was running, but I was froze at the same time because I could run faster than what I was running. I was running and like thinking at the same time, like, oh man.
Peer pressure is a poor excuse, and it is just a feeble attempt by Wilcox to avoid taking responsibility for his actions.
Put it down, bro. Put it down, I'm not gonna tell you again.
I got in the car.
What'd you say when you got in the car?
I was froze, man. I was froze.
Would you at some point you and Deontay must have talked though.
Yeah, I was like, man, get me home, man.
Did you tell him what happened?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was like, oh man, that's crazy, man. I was like, man, just get me home, bro. I don't want to hear no talking. I don't want to hear nothing. Just get me home. And he was like, my phone. He said somebody on my phone, something like that.
Whose phone?
His phone.
What about it?
I don't know. I wouldn't let him finish. I was like, bro, don't say nothing, man. Just get me home. He was trying to talk, but I wouldn't let him. I was like, man, just get me home, man. Just get me home.
Was he mad you shot the guy, or you know what I mean?
I wouldn't even.
You know what I mean? If you and I went out and did it, and I didn't know you were going to shoot a guy, you know, I'd probably be pissed.
Yeah.
Be like, man, what the fuck? You were supposed to get a backpack, not shoot the guy. You know, was he mad or?
I couldn't really tell because I couldn't hear him say nothing. He was trying to talk, but I wouldn't let him say nothing.
Okay. So then you guys took off out of there. How soon after you left that parking lot did the deputies get behind the car?
I didn't even know the deputy was behind the car.
He didn't say anything?
Deontay, yeah, that's when Deontay.
Well, how long after that? Was it like just a couple minutes, or
Yeah.
it's pretty quick, right? What were you talking about when the police showed up behind you? Because I know what you told me earlier about, man, we got nothing to worry about. I know that's not true. I ain't worried about that. What'd you really talk about?
That's what I was saying.
We ain't got nothing to worry about?
I was like, man, we straight, man, we good.
Why? Because you didn't think they saw the car? The victim saw the car?
No, cause at first when the police got behind, I thought they was gonna turn their lights on, but they didn't.
So then you thought that it was just coincidence?
Yeah, when we kept riding through lights, I was like, man, we good. I said, we got nothing to worry about. We good, man.
So you thought the heat was off? You thought you'd gotten away? What'd you say? What'd you guys talk about as soon as I turned the lights on?
They didn't turn the lights on.
Even when you pulled in that driveway, they never did?
Nah, they never turned the lights on.
So why'd you pull into the driveway?
When we pulled into the car, I was trying to see, like, I was telling Deontay. First, he said it was one police behind us. I was like, okay, that's another because the police didn't turn the lights on. Then the police got inside the other lane, the lane beside us. And then I was like, okay, we really good. Then the police slowed down and got back behind us. So I was like, oh,
So then you got a little nervous?
Yeah. I was like, oh, man. But I ain't tell it to him. I was thinking it in my head. I was like, oh. Then Deontay just kept saying, there go another police. I ain't turned the lights on. He said, there go another police. I was like, bro, just turn it here and see. Like,
So have you never been on that road?
Nah.
Had he?
I don't know.
You don't think so, though, right? I mean, he hasn't lived here that long. Did you know it was a dead end?
Nah.
So when you pulled in the driveway, what was the point of pulling in the driveway? Were you going to bail?
Nah, I wasn't gonna run. I never did run from the police.
What were you guys talking about when you pulled into that driveway? Did you say we're fucked?
Yeah.
Or words to that effect?
I was like, when I seen the police kept following us, and when we pulled in the driveway, I was like, dang. Then I tried to open the door, and the police had a gun. I was like,
Did you put the gun on the floor?
no.
After you shot the guy, was it in your hand when you ran back to the car? Or did you put it back in your pocket?
I put it back in my pocket.
So at what point did you take the gun out of your pocket?
When I got in the car.
Like immediately when you got in the car? Did you stick it under the seat or just on the floor?
Nah, when I got in the car, I stuck it. I just was trying to get it away from me.
Right.
I took it out of my pocket. I'm like, man, just get me home.
So it just
man.
ended up on the floor?
Yeah.
So Deontay would have seen it?
What did he would have seen?
When you got back in the car, he would have seen the gun?
He did see the gun.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He would have...
Yeah.
Okay. Because you took it out. Okay. Is there anything else you can think of? It's important.
Yeah.
What?
I'd do whatever it takes not to go back to jail.
You sorry for what you did? If you could, would you apologize to the victim?
Yeah. I'd do whatever it takes not to go back to jail.
How long have you been in Orlando? You said a couple weeks?
A couple of days, not even a week.
Have you ever done anything like this before in Orlando? And before you answer that, okay? Obviously now you're on our radar. So anything similar to this out that way, we're going to start showing your picture. Are there going to be any other victims that are going to point to you and say, that guy?
No, sir.
What about Deontay?
I don't think he's never been arrested.
Okay, but I'm saying, is anybody, that doesn't mean he's never done a robbery. That just might mean he ain't never been caught.
I don't know if he ever done.
Have you ever done any with him up here? Where maybe he got out of the car? So no one's going to pick you out of a lineup.
No one.
And you, as far as you think, no one's ever going to pick him out of a lineup.
No one. Not that I know. Not him.
He ain't never talk about it?
Wilcox is desperate to stay out of jail, and the detective doesn't bother to tell him that it is almost certainly an unavoidable outcome. Wilcox is 18 years old, and he could very well spend what should be the best years of his life in jail.
You ain't never heard him say, you know, we do this all the time?
You know, shit.
Okay. You swear and affirm everything you say is the truth? Raise your right hand and say it.
I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
You swear to tell the truth, or you did tell the truth?
I did tell the truth.
All right. Anything else?
Like I said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes not to go to jail.
Okay. All right. Hang tight. You need anything? Water? Bathroom?
Sir, please.
We're going to go work it out. You need anything? No? All right. Hang tight.
Deontye Scott and Edtavion Wilcox were both charged with attempted first-degree murder with a firearm and armed robbery. Scott was later acquitted, possibly because this was his first offense, and he was not involved in the actual shooting. Wilcox was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. Thank you for watching. Check out my Patreon link in the description below and drop a like on this video. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. I'm always curious to read what you thought of the case.